of shots. TJ got us going early with the first 5. I think she had 5 points and 3 rebounds, and part of me was wondering why we took her out, other than the fact she hadn't practiced for 6 or 7 weeks or whatever it was. But you know, just this is a special group, and you know, to me that's what you want for senior day, is to be able to kind of win comfortably and kind of honor your seniors. And you know, obviously we feel bad that Sam didn't get an opportunity, but just really proud of these 3 and how much they've meant to the program, and how much they take care of each other, and you know, and hopefully they value the experience that they've had. And like I just said, that their journeys were all different to get here, and they've all been different over the 3.5 years that they've been here. But they've modeled what we want a Creighton women's basketball player to be, and that's pretty satisfying, hopefully, for them, and as a staff, it's pretty neat to see. So as far as the game goes, offensive rebounding was big, and so was 3-point shooting. Those were 2 areas. And then the other thing that excited me was 23 assists and 7 turnovers. I think that's and in the first half it was 15 and 1. So those are good numbers.
Ask questions for the student athletes.
When did you find out you were starting? How, I guess, did you know once you touched it, your shot was going on?
No, Flan came up to me during warm-ups and was just like, hey, like, do you want to start? And I was just I was kind of hesitant, but then, of course, Jade was just like, TJ, do it. And I was like, well, okay, fine, don't twist my arm. But everybody kids around how, like, I shoot the ball a lot. But so I just kind of just did whatever today. If I could affect the game at all, then I wanted to do it. So it just felt really good just to be back out there just one more time before it all ends.
The rest of you, I guess, when you saw the shot fall, what did that do to the energy of the team and the energy in the building? Because, you know, when you know what you've been through when you see her first shot open.
I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. But yeah, I think that's just really cool, like, to see what she's been through, and just, you know, the first shot she takes and it just goes in that's pretty awesome for her and just for everybody to see. So
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being in that type of a position. She's handled it so well, and just like to see her be able to do that one more time was just awesome. Like it pumped me up. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Yeah, I think it really hyped us up. Like after she hit that, we were like, it's go time. We were ready for that one.
They're the best. All of them are just so supportive of everything. They're just like, you're just shoot. They didn't care who to put, but
put it up.
yeah, but they're great. Did that even count? I don't even know if it did. It did? Okay, I thought I traveled. I don't know. But the last basket, I was just, okay. I don't know. I was just having fun out there. That's why I started playing basketball, and that's how I'm going to finish it.
Looks like you were kind of yelling at your teammates to stop setting the screen.
I was. They were ridiculous.
I was like, no, I'm kidding you. Come here.
Oh, it's funny.
This compared to last year, I guess, you know, the feeling wasn't what you wanted it to be, even though you got a final home game after that. But I guess, what did you want to do coming out to kind of, I guess, keep the emotions in check with a good start?
I mean, it was definitely difficult just thinking about, like, the last time going into the locker room, the last time you're going to get ready for the game. So just trying to, like, keep it all in. Like, our teammates did, like, a really good job of just kind of, like, keeping it even tone. So just knowing that, the start was important and just focusing on the game was, it was hard, but I'm glad we were able to get a good start.
When you're sharing the ball like that offensively, does that kind of help with the individual emotions, knowing that kind of everybody's involved and, you know, the game is moving?
I mean, it's definitely easier to play when the ball's moving, you know. It's just great to spread it around. I don't know.
Yes, Alexis and Bree, just talk a little bit. I kind of lost some good feelings of all this. The fact that you guys bounced back from a pretty disappointing thing the other night. I guess talk a little bit about what you guys showed in that regard.
I mean, you can always learn from a loss, so just taking some of the stuff that we learned from DePaul, you know, transferring it over and really trying to make a step forward and keep learning more about ourselves was important, and I'm glad we were able to get this one today because of it.
Yeah, losing's never fun, but I thought it was good for us just to bring us back to reality after winning 6 in a row. But I think tonight was special, so I think we all worked pretty hard to do it for these guys.
Take 2 more questions for the student athletes.
I guess, Sammy, which, obviously, this had to be tough not being able to be out there. I guess just what were your emotions for the day?
I mean, it was. I wish I could have been out there tonight, but it was really emotional. But I think it's just seeing, you know, the teammates still have fun. Like I still had a ton of fun just being on the bench, just because it was going so well and everybody was contributing, and just to see, you know, like TJ out there doing so well and Lex playing a great game too. It was just, I don't know, it was just a great last experience. And DJ Sokol.
For Lex and Bree going forward, was it important today to, I guess, play well, win comfortably, get some confidence back going on the road for your finals or regular season games?
I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good to get a win, and just to get the ball going. I mean, it definitely builds your confidence a little bit. But just coming back and learning from your loss, like I said earlier, you know, just to get going for the next couple games on the road and towards the tournament, it's a good start.
Yeah, I think it was good to build our confidence. I think that'll put us in a good place for next weekend now that we're coming off of a win instead of losing like Friday.
Any final questions for student athletes?
Thanks, guys.
It's go time, Drew.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be bad.
You didn't have the starter?
No, no. You want to know how it happened? Her dad came up to me before the game and said something like, "Hey, if Taylor starts and she throws a T-shirt at me, I'm going to throw it back." And I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I should start." You know, and I thought about it. I really had thought about it, and you know, I talked about it with Fritchie even a little bit earlier and said, you know, he's like, well, if you're going to play her, sometimes it's best at the beginning, because if the game is such that, you know, especially from her standpoint where it's a knee, you warm up, okay, and then, you know, you sit for an hour and 45 minutes and you get in, you know, even at the end, that's different. So, no, I thought about it, but I didn't make that decision until talking to her dad in warm-ups. So TJ can credit her dad for getting her a start, and I'm glad I did it. I think, you know, it worked out perfectly, because she kind of jump-started us both from a production standpoint and an emotional standpoint.
Are you going to beat yourself up for taking her out?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I looked at the stat sheet at the first meeting, and she had 5 points and 3. You know, I knew she had 5 points, but she had 3 rebounds too. I'm like, geez. You know, and that's the thing that maybe, you know, we've kind of long since, you know, gotten past thinking about what kind of player she could have been. But she, you know, she was our 4th leading scorer as a freshman. So she, you know, she can put the ball in the basket. I mean, offensively, I think she would have been a very good player for us had she stayed healthy, and you know, and defensively, you know, she had some room. You know, like most freshmen, she had growth, but just her length and her physicality for a perimeter player, or the versatility to move over and play the 4. I think she would have been a really solid player had she stayed healthy.
You had a closer view than any of us did. But what did, when her shot fell, the bench and everything, what did that do for the energy in the building when that shot fell?
Well, I never turn and look at the bench, but I you know, I heard a few things, so I don't know. I think you know, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't completely surprised, because I know that, you know, she told me she had been on the treadmill. You know, she'd been on the treadmill a little bit, you know, I thought more, it was going to be obviously more the lateral stuff that was going to be difficult for her, but the running and the offense I didn't think was going to be that much of an issue because she does have a, you know, in a good way, she's got a scoring mentality. You know, and we talked about it a little bit before the game, but we cross-matched and put her on their 4-player to start the game and put Lex on a guard just because you know, you don't want to get off to a start where, you know, you get somebody going, but I felt like she was better off guarding, you know, a kid who couldn't really beat her off the dribble, and that's one thing that we talked about real quickly as a staff, or at least I made the decision as a staff before the game started.
I guess the way they shared the ball today, coming off, you know, a game where you didn't really have much rhythm in that area, what did you think of the way your offense performed bouncing back?
Yeah, I thought you know, like I said, to have 15 assists and 1 turnover in the first half is just that's good stuff. And you know, they pressed more in the second half and were, you know, they had to or at least they probably had to because of the score and you know, if you want to get back in the game, you probably need the game to be accelerated even more. But yeah, we did a nice job of moving it early and I thought Lex was really good early, which, you know, you always wonder with seniors how emotional they're going to be, but I thought she was really good early too, and so that was, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, we did a good job of, you know, they're a team that goes back and forth between man and zone. They played more man lately, but you know, we felt like we could move it. They're young enough at some positions, and with their bigger lineups, they have a hard time, you know, necessarily taking passes away. But I was still glad that we moved it before we shot it most of the time.
What do you see, I guess, in the ability to rebound from what happened Friday night?
Yeah, it was good because because you're worried. You know, Marquette had won 4 of their last 6. I mean, they'd played. They're a little like us. They'd played a lot better. You know, sometimes, you know, I think it maybe just took them that one win to kind of get going because they were on the snide for a long time. But once they got a win, they had played better. They'd won 2 road games in those 4 games. So they were, you know, I felt like they would come in thinking that they could, you know, thinking they had a great opportunity to win based on how they'd played lately. So it wasn't a game that we, you know, we didn't talk about. We beat them by 18 last time at their place. And you know, they were a little different team because Bell, who's their second leading scorer, did not play up in Milwaukee. So we, you know, some of the scouting report things that we had, you know, that were important up there weren't as much of a carryover when you've got that good of a kid who's, you know, now in the lineup versus not, and also just what they'd done in those 6 games since we last played them. So it was, yeah, I mean, I felt like we'd be ready to play. I think I feel like this team is, you know, despite the fact we play a lot of young players, I feel like we're pretty mature in terms of readiness to play and readiness to prepare. And I think we've gotten better, obviously, as the year's gone on. But again, I think a lot of that credit goes to the seniors who even you know, though Taylor and Sammy don't play and we only have one of them, I think those guys do a good job of setting a tone of how to prepare the right way.
2 more questions.
That's good.
Just now, instead of having come off the tough loss to Paul, this large margin victory against Marquette, how does that propel you into next weekend on the road to close out the regular season?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, even though I just said I think we have some maturity for being a little bit of a younger team, you always want momentum, especially when you go on the road, because we found out, you know, early in January when we went on the road that, I just think the more momentum you can have with a team that isn't necessarily older, even with an older team, you want momentum going on the road, but when you don't have as much experience, I think that momentum is important, and that feeling of what it's like to win too. I think it is important. And I talked to him before the game about not even just about winning, but about playing well. I said, look, we lost to DePaul, but I don't feel like we played poorly. We played a really good team, and had we played a team that wasn't really good, we would have won, because we lost by 2. So I said, I'm not as worried about the result of DePaul, and I'm not. If we play well today, we'll be fine in terms of the win-loss. But we need to keep getting better for the conference tournament. I mean, we need to, we have 2 weeks to continue to get better. So it was about senior day, but it was about progress too, and I felt like our kids were pretty, if winning 6 of our previous 7 wasn't. It doesn't give them hope that we can go to Chicago and win 3 games. I don't know what would. And so that's part of my message too, is, hey, we need to, we're going to need to beat Georgetown on Friday, but let's take another step forward as a team, and with younger players. I think you saw it with I keep talking a lot about Jade and Lauren, but those two, the more games that those two can get under their belt, and the more, and Bree, I mean, Bree's the other one. I thought Bree was outstanding today. Like, I thought defensively, they played a lot of 4-guard lineup, and we had to probably play the post one-on-one more, because our philosophy going into the game was if they were going to have 2 posts, we were going to crowd the post more. But they played a lot of 4-guard, and Bree, I thought, did a really good job of playing the post one-on-one, and I thought she did a good job of helping on the dribble. And I normally don't compliment Bree that highly on the defensive end, but I thought she was very influential in what they shot inside the 3. I mean, they shot in the first half, their 2-point percentage, they were 5 for 10 from the 3, and their 2-point percentage was really low, and I thought a lot of it was that Bree was really good defensively. So I always keep talking, but I think those, Jade, Lauren, Bree, those, I'm not saying it doesn't help Marissa and Lex and kids who've played more, but like, I think those kids, the more good games that they can put behind them, the more confident they're going to be, and the better they're going to be in tough spots when we play in the conference tournament. And we still have a lot to play for. We go win 2, our seeding will be a lot better. So we'll see. Thanks, you guys.